Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, May 13th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we were taking a look at whoops, did not mean to do that. Click the wrong thing there. But first, ticker symbol KDLY, and overall, with all the news that came out, very, very eventful day. Pretty rough pullback here, although now with the price seemingly bottoming out, and I say seemingly because there are no guarantees or anything like that, but my point here is it at least becomes a valid situation throughout there because it has at least started to go sideways right there around, let's just call it $13.50. So price came down there and headed back up, and it's now come back down, but you can see it's continued to not come back down. It does not mean it's going to bounce back upwards, but I don't think anybody would be shocked if it did bounce back upwards given that it bounced before. But point being is looking like maybe this is some sort of consolidation pattern. But if you want a little bit more maybe confirmation of a stronger move back up, I think that's where this area right here around 1885 comes into play, meaning if the price does come back up here, first off, that would mean that it's bounced once again and then can break through that level. Again, no guarantees, but I can totally see the logic behind somebody saying, you know, if it comes up here and breaks through there, I can see that break creating more upside buying pressure. So 1885, interesting level in that regard. But it's really just a question of this thing moved, and it moved very big today. And it's just now a set of circumstances where sure it's pulled back, but the big question, is this consolidation right now? Is this a newer low that's being built? Is this thing getting primed up for another move back in the upwards direction? We'll see what happens with it on Tuesday. Next one, DEVS. Not a whole lot can be, well, yeah, there's some things that be commented on it, but right now, the main dynamic is just the ingredients are there for a worthwhile thing to trade because there's huge volume and there's a whole lot of price action. I mean, you can see right here this afternoon, I mean, nothing was going on for the first part, but then, yeah, that portion of the day showed up and the rest is history. So a whole lot of movement. And I suppose, like I said, we can still talk about some things to an extent, but right now, the main reason on the watch list is not because there's some sort of beautiful textbook pattern or anything like that. It's just big volume, or big volume, big price action. And it's only Monday. It's going to be a rough week, folks. But anyways, so let's map out some key areas here. So nothing fancy here in terms of areas of resistance. As of now, looking like right up here at $1.33, going to be a key battleground where the sellers are hanging out. No fancy logic behind that other than the fact that that's just simply where the price got rejected a couple times right there. So keep a close eye on that. And then as far as pullbacks are concerned, very, very kind of, I mean, yes, you could call, you know, that an area of potential support and that an area of potential support. But in my opinion, what I find kind of most interesting is let's see if this thing consolidates out a few more candles, because if it can do something like that, then you'd be looking at a situation where you have some sort of pullback, and then you could look at this big upwards move, and then you could start to have a bull flag, bull pennant type situation. But you can't really call anything a pattern right now just because there's not enough information. All we have is big move up and now a little bit of a pullback here. But yes, as more candles form on Tuesday, is there some sort of bull flag? Is there some sort of bull pennant that forms? We'll have to see what happens with it. But like I've said, the main ingredients are there. Big volume, big price action. So let's see if it continues into Tuesday. Next one here, ticker TSLL. And I talked about the bull pennant in the previous one, but now there's no need to speculate or say, well, let's see if something forms. We already have that exact pattern formed very, very nicely on this one. So there is the resistance portion of the pattern. Green for support. Here is the support portion of the pattern. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the nice upwards move right here. We have the golf hole down here. And this would be the bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something is in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go head upwards. But yeah, if the price can do something like this and then make a move upwards, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. But again, is that guaranteed to happen? It is not, but certainly a more than valid potential scenario. So if you like these setups, you like this price range, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here is CTMX, and we have the same pattern. The biggest difference here, at least I think, let me double check. Yeah, all right. So let me just get the pattern drawn into play. So there's this resistance portion of the pattern. There's the support. So green, let me just make it all one color, and then we can talk about the more exciting part of this all. So we have resistance, we have support, we have the big move up right here. Getting golf hole down here. So the bull pennant. Now the biggest difference here is this dynamic right here. The price is actually already broken through there, which means we get to ask a very exciting question. Is this the start of something bigger? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask it if nothing worthwhile is even happening. Because it is what the start of something bigger? Nothing's happening, right? That doesn't make any sense. But in this situation, it makes total sense because when you say, well, is what the start of something bigger? We get to say, hey, the breakout of this bull pennant pattern. So the breakout is here. To be fair, maybe it's not. I mean, this thing could, maybe it's just going to roll right back over. But again, to be fair, well, I mean, maybe this is the start of something bigger and this thing's getting ready to rock and roll. So the bull pennant breakout has occurred. Is it the start of something even bigger as the week continues to play out? We'll see what happens. Next one, NVDA, and the nice recovery continues, so much so that I'm just going to get rid of that level. It was, it was relevant when I did this on Friday, but with the big move up here, we basically have ourselves a little bit of a case of deja vu. So the first key level of resistance moving forward, right up here at that level, right around the 123 mark, give or take a little bit. And then on the flip side of things, as far as supports, I'm going to actually use this to just help kind of illustrate the bottom part of it. And then just to make it all the same color, hopefully easier to see. We have our resistance. We have our support. We have the nice big move up right there. So yeah, you guessed it. We have ourselves yet another bull pennant pattern. So is this going to be able to come up here and get the breakthrough area at this area? And if so, does that break create even more upside buying pressure? Grab your popcorn, but definitely a very good start to the week here for NVIDIA. Real quick, I want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online event that I'm offering here later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live webinar. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage here that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, we're looking at NXTT, so we'll have to take a look and see if this one continues to get more continuation like it did today. If you look at how it behaved on Friday, that was the high, and then today put in a higher high. If you look at the late day pullback right there, was right there, and you look at the pullback area here, right there. So today put in a higher high and higher low. Now there is a little bit of context. I get it. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 14 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, things are not looking so good because the price did pull back. But assuming you care about the big picture point of view, even with the pullback here, let me make that, there we go. And this is all going to sound very familiar here in just a few moments. But assuming you do care about the bigger picture point of view, we have our resistance, we have the support, we have the big move up right there. Yeah, you guessed it, we have ourselves yet another bull pennant pattern. Again, it's all about perspective and point of view. I understand day traders that bought right there, you don't care about the bull pennant pattern. That's why I'm trying to create a point of distinction that I am more so commenting from those people that care about the bigger picture point of view. So if you like multi-day patterns and you like multi-day bull pennant patterns and you like this price range, here you go. Next one, TAOP. Pretty rough looking chart, no doubt about that. But this is, and I would say a pretty ugly looking chart, but you longtime viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And maybe, just maybe, the price needs to come down a little bit more to basically right where it began, because right around this area here where the breakout originally started, you have these two key moving averages, that purple line being the 50-period moving average, the pink line being the 200-period moving average. And those are very significant levels. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but is it valid to think that the price could come down to those moving averages and then get some sort of bounce in the upwards direction? In my mind, that is a valid scenario. Now, this is definitely for those that are disciplined traders, because you don't want to get, well, I mean, you should be the disciplined trader regardless of what you're doing, but especially in these situations, because it's very possible that the price comes down here and it just keeps bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So if you're not going to, manage risk and honor, your risk protocols, then again, you shouldn't even be trading, but you definitely should not be taking on situations like this. But from a risk reward scenario, if it were to come down there and then you get even a modest bounce relative to what's being risked, you could be looking at a very nice risk versus reward scenario. So all in all, yes, ugly looking chart, but you are getting a pullback. You are getting at a very interesting level where the price maybe gets some sort of bounce off those moving averages. So if you like these sort of kind of situations where you're looking for the, the opportunity in the ugly, keep an eye on it. Next one, MLGO, and starting to kind of become one of those days. We had a couple in the past few weeks where it was like almost every single chart I did was a pennant pattern. And we basically have that here once again. So I'm going to go through this quicker as I want to respect your time as much as possible, but just make sure everybody sees it. There is our resistance. There is our support. There's a nice upwards move here. There is the golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another overall bull pennant pattern. So if you enjoy this price range down below $5, you like bull pennants, well, as you're seeing now, you have quite the variety here headed into Tuesday. Next one, GRYP. And yeah, this one looks not quite as ugly as some of these other ones, but same general idea of from the previous one. What was that? KDLY, where you had a very strong move, and then you have this pullback here. But within the pullback, you're now getting some instances where maybe, just maybe, this area down here is some sort of support level. As last time it was down there, held right around $1.62. So does it come down there, and is there some sort of double bottom where it comes down there and bounces? I could see that very well being the case. But maybe you're saying, well, I don't want to just randomly buy there, because what happens if it's not? I want more confirmation. Well, then I can see a very interesting confirmation point being basically the top part of this channel right here. Again, the premise being, if the price comes back up here, first off, you would get to say, so we already know that it honored that once again. And then if it's breaking through here, you would kind of be able to have two things in your favor. You would say, not only did it bounce off of here, it is now breaking through here. Now, both those things still don't guarantee that it's going to be a winning trade per se, but that would just, I can see the logic behind your thought process there. Some people maybe don't want to wait for all that confirmation. They just want to try to play a double bottom right there. I can see the logic right there. But at the end of the day, it's all about that risk management and your strategy, however you want to go about it. But from an overarching standpoint, there's a lot of volume today. There's a lot of movement today. So yeah, is this some sort of double bottom? Is it going to curl back upwards, get the break up through there? Definitely grab your popcorn for Tuesday. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And talked about this very briefly, this bull pennant that formed on Friday. But you can see today, it got the very, very nice break up through that level here. And basically a case of deja vu. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these lines all out as they've served their purpose for now. Because yes, once again, we are looking at a fresh new bull pennant pattern. So there is a resistance of it. Here is the support. And again, I'm just going to go through this quicker to respect your time, as you've seen plenty of these now. So resistance, support, nice move right there, golf hole down here. But the big difference here than a lot of these is a lot of other ones, not really well-known stocks at all. But there was a lot of volume. But Tesla, very well-known, maybe the most well-known stock out there, maybe one of the most talked about with NVIDIA. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching it, so a lot of people are watching the same thing, wondering the same thing, watching the same patterns, wondering the same things. That doesn't guarantee anything, but it certainly makes it more than valid that if it breaks here, you could get good upside pressure just because people are saying, hey, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, because I'm a breakout trader and that's breaking out, I'm supposed to buy. Therefore, they just buy. So again, those self-fulfilling prophecies are a very real thing. And while nothing is guaranteed to happen, is that a valid question to throw out there? Absolutely, especially when you have such a well-defined textbook pattern on a very popular stock. So let's see if this bull pennant pattern can indeed get some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy to the upside to put in new higher highs. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about everything, then definitely get signed for the free class. It'll be later this week, Thursday, May 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, as always, make sure you hit that like button. If you enjoy, and if you have not yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications because I am live streaming. So if you want to come hang out, then yes, you'll be notified if you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. But I've been live streaming 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you're around, you want to see some live trading, just come ask questions, shoot the breeze, hang out. Then definitely be sure to check out the live stream at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, and make sure you get signed up for that free class.